Hey there people, it's your favorite WeedleTwineedle bringing you all the last Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Wi-Fi battle video. That's right, with Scarlet and Violet being out, this is probably going to be the last Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl battling video you'll see from me. If you all did enjoy the narrated battling BDSP content and want to see more narrated Scarlet and Violet content in the near future, make sure to leave a like on the video, watch until the end of the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, big shoutouts to those who left a super thanks on my recent video. It's a future YouTube added where you can show extra financial support to content creators you really enjoy. It's of course entirely optional, just watching my content really means the world to me. Now today we are using a team revolving around Scizor because I'm embracing my toxic masculine side because this video is brought to you by our friends over at Manscaped, the global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Manscaped hooked me up with their all-in-one Perfect Package 4.0. It's important for us trainers to keep our Pokeballs and grass types in check, and Manscaped provides the perfect counterplay. This lawnmower, no, not that one. This lawnmower trimmer 4.0 is amazing. This is Manscaped's 4th generation electric trimmer which reduces nicks and cuts on the most sensitive parts of the body. The trimmer comes with accessories and a charger with a battery life that lasts up to 90 minutes on full charge, not to mention that it's wireless and waterproof so you can use it in the shower, and it has a travel lock which is super convenient. Manscaped also included products to keep your balls fresh, like their deodorant and their Crop Reviver toner spray. And that's not all. For a limited time, you'll get all of this plus 2 free gifts: this very handsome travel bag to put all of your stuff in, and some of Manscaped anti-chafing boxer briefs. If any of this interests you, go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free international shipping on top of those 2 free gifts I just mentioned when you use the promo code WEEDLE on checkout. Thank you Manscaped so much for sponsoring this video. So as you can see by my team, we are packing the Manscaped core and Manectric and Scizor, because Man-etric and then Scizor is like scape kinda. Okay, but it's a little bit of a theme team we got going on. And then we have Mismagius, Omastar, my legit Shiny Melodic, and then Espeon. So overall, pretty cool team. As my opponent today, Sylvie, is packing a very scary team. They're packing Rotom-Wash, Heatran, Weavile, Latias, Gliscor, and Scizor. So overall, pretty stacked looking team, but without further ado, let's get into the final battle of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So let's begin the battle. My opponent's going to be leading off with their Motisma, their legit Shiny Rotom. Let's go, Shiny Rotom, yeah! As I'm going to be leading off with my Vivian, my Mismagius, and I love Mismagius so much. I'm so glad they're coming back in Scarlet and Violet. So my opponent's going to go for the Volt Switch, revealing they are Choice Scarf turn 1, which is very good information to know. And they're going to Volt Switch out and bring in their Demoret, their Weavile. So they bring in their Weavile, which isn't a legit shiny. It's actually not Shiny Weavile. Shocker. Now I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, as I was just trying to status the Rotom and get residual damage on something, as we're able to burn the incoming Weavile, which makes it much more easier to pivot into, which is nice. So I'm not going to stay in here and take a dark type move, so I'm going to switch out of my Vivian, and I'm going to bring out my Rocky, my Omastar, because I do have the weak armor, and Omastar has a pretty high base defense stat, so we could take this Throat Chop because Weavile doesn't have knockoff BDSP, and it won't have knockoff in Scarlet Violet either, so get fucked Weavile. Anyway, we're gonna get weak armor, get that speed increase, and now the Weavile is gonna want to switch out, and if they don't want to switch out, I could just set up Hatsuzan for free basically. So they're gonna switch out of the Weavile and bring back in the Motisma. This thing might carry Defog, but I'm not too entirely sure what Scarf Rotoms carry in BDSP. I'm pretty sure it's just Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, Trick, and then like, you know, something else. I mean, they could carry Defog. I'm gonna go for my Stealth Rocks here, and I'm actually gonna conserve my Omastar for later, and I'm gonna hard switch into my Manectric to pivot into the Volt Switch, slurp that up with the Lightning Rod ability. I love the Lightning Rod ability so much. It's such a good ability. My opponent's going to switch out of the Motisma, and they're going to bring out their Scorval. What's that? Oh, it's their Gliscor. Oh, yeah, and I predict the switch, and I go for... Oh, sorry, Stealth Rock damage. I predict the switch in, and I'm going to go for the Switcheroo. And I'm going to take away this Gliscor's Toxic Orb, and I'm going to obtain the Toxic Orb myself, giving it the Choice Scarf. So now they have a Scarf Gliscor, and my man has the Toxic Orb, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I'm gonna switch out of my man because I don't want it to take an Earthquake, and I'm gonna bring in my Vivian here, expecting an Earthquake, as my opponent just goes for the Earthquake. So we're able to pivot into that correctly, and now they're locked into Earthquake, so they're forced to switch out, and they're gonna bring in their Demoret, their Weavile once again to pivot into the Will-O-Wisp. Good play on their part, though I do have Stealth Rocks out, so it's not gonna appreciate that chip damage. As I believe I just go for Will-O-Wisp again. So they make a good pivot into the Weavile onto the Will-O-Wisp, but Now I can just switch out again pretty freely. Like, I don't really have a reason to stay in and let this Weavile chip me down. So I'm going to switch back into my Rocky here because I do have the weak armor and this Weavile is burned and doesn't have knockoff. So I don't really have much to worry about. So we're going to tank that Throat Chop and get the weak armor. So now we're going to be able to hopefully outpace the Weavile and go for some entry hazards. Because that's the whole point of this Omastar set, is to be like a hazard stacker. So I can, like, you know, clean up with my Scizor and like Melodic with Dragon Tail. So my opponent's going to bring in the Motisba yet again, as I do think I just go for a hazard. I forgot which one, if I go for Spike or Toxic Spikes. One or the other I go for. So Rotom's going to take Rocks damage, and I do go for a Layer Spike. So we have Spikes and Stealth Rocks up right now, so we have a lot of hazard pressure. Entry hazards are so broken. I go for another Layer Spikes as well. I was beating the Scarf Rotom thanks to weak armor, and now they're going to knock me out with a Hydro Pump, and unfortunately Omastar is going to go down, but we got 2 layers of Spikes up and Stealth Rock, so Omastar definitely did its job, and we pivoted into Weavile multiple times to set up those hazards, so I want to know what Omastar did great. Now I'm going to bring in my Skates. That's right, it's time to bring in the Scizor, because I know they're locked into Hydro Pump, and they shouldn't be able to do too much damage to my Scizor, so they're going to bring in their Heatran, as I do think I predict this and I double switch. Do I do this? I think I double switch here. I had to be smart, right? So they're going to bring in Scizor, or they're going to bring in Heatran, take a bunch of hazard damage, and I do double switch, that's right. Predicting the Heatran, and what do I bring in? I bring my Estaflax, my Espeon. So I'm going to go for the Copycat, going for the Choice Specs Hydro Pump. No, I'm not. And now Heatran's going to hit a Magma Storm, yay! So some of y'all might have gotten deja vu from that turn, but I did post that turn to YouTube several months ago in a shorter video, and yes, that turn was so painful. I just have the worst luck when it comes to Copycat Espeon, so I'm going to try to go for the Copycat again, even though I will just Copycat Magma Storm this time around, but I'm pretty sure Heatran runs Flame Body and BDSP because Scizor is so popular, and thankfully I was able to get that guess correct, and Magma Storm is going to knock out the Heatran. Specs Magma Storm with a crit. We get a revenge crit, so thankfully the Hydro Pump missing, we get some revenge with that. But now unfortunately my Espeon is very low health, and now they're going to bring in their Latias here, and I don't want to stay in and take a Draco Meteor from this legit shiny Latias. Shiny Latias is so pretty though. It's one of the few good looking yellow shinies in my opinion. Like, shiny Latias kind of serves. I prefer regular Latias, but shiny Latias looks nice. But now I'm going to bring in my Azura, my legit shiny Melodic that I hatched in BDSP. And they're going to go for a Defog here, which was a very big mistake. I wasn't even predicting the Defog. I was just trying to switch into a Draco Meteor. But hey, we're going to get a competitive boost, get +2 special attack from that Defog. And they're going to remove my hazards, but now I'm at +2 special attack with my Melodic. So I'm feeling pretty good. But they revealed to be like a leftovers Latias, which is good to know. So they don't actually apply that much offensive pressure, you know, without setting up a Calm Mind or two first. And if they have Defog, they likely don't carry Calm Mind. So they're going to bring back in the Rotom here, and I think I just go for the Dragon Tail or Scald. I forgot what I go for. Oh, I go for Ice Beam. I must have been reading into something else or just trying to chip down the Latias. But yeah, I go for Ice Beam. It's now they're going to go for the Volt Switch here into my Melodic, but we tanked that really well because Rotom probably doesn't have like modest nature, and Melodic is really bulky. Like, don't sleep on Melodic, even though this is like a modest nature Melodic. Like, this Melodic does not play. Azura doesn't play. She tanks attacks, unlike in Fates. So now I'm gonna go for these Scald here, so they're gonna bring back in their Weavile, and Scald will actually finish off the Weavile. So down goes to the Weavile thanks to my like modest Scald. Like, Melodic kind of carries. Melodic carried all my BDSP battles, let's be real. And sadly, Melodic isn't in Scarlet and Violet, so I won't be able to transfer this over. But, you know, it was still fun to use the shiny Melodic while I did. And, you know, if Melodic's added later on through, like, DLC and, you know, Scarlet and Violet, I will be using the shiny Melodic again. Don't get it twisted. So now I'm going to bring back in my Manectric, as they're going to go for a trick, trying to cripple my Melodic. But unfortunately for them, they're gonna give me back a Choice Scarf. I was just reading Volt Switch again, but they were just trying to trick and, you know, cripple my Melodic because they had a hard time breaking it, which is super funny. So now the Rotom is poisoned, and now they're gonna bring in their Squirtle here, their Gliscor, and I think I read this. Do I read this? I forgot what I do. I think I read this switch in. No, I don't. I just go for Volt Switch. Okay. But yeah, go for Volt Switch. We don't do any damage because it's immune. And they are a Scarf Gliscor, so I'm going to switch out not wanting to take an Earthquake, and I'm going to bring back in my Estaflex. Why did I bring in Estaflex? Do I predict them to... Oh, yeah, that's right. So I predict them to predict my Mismagius, right? And so they bring in Scizor here as I bring in my Espeon, and I'm really hoping that they don't Bullet Punch me, as I'm going to go for a Copycat here, and I'm going to Copycat the Volt Switch that I just went for. So we're going to hit the Scizor with the Specs Volt Switch and do around like 30%, which is nice damage. And then we're going to Volt Switch out and bring in the Vivian here, my Mismagius, onto the Scizor, as they're going to go for a U-turn. So, you know, we went for the Volt Switch, they went for the U-turn. Nice brain dead pivot moves. And they're going to U-turn out with their yucky Booger Scizor, may I add, and bring in their Latias again. So they're going to bring in Latias here. And I'm not really too worried about this Latias since it's shown Defog, and they do have Draco Meteor, so we do know it has Draco Meteor, and that will probably knock me out because Vivian isn't too bulky. So yeah, unfortunately, Draco Meteor is going to annihilate my Mismagius, but it's okay. Mismagius was able to burn the Weavile basically, and you know what? We love that for her. So down goes Vivian. I should be using Mismagius more in Scarlet and Violet for sure. I'm going to bring in my Manscaped right here because the Heatran is dead. So I'm going to bring in my Scaped here, and I get to reveal my iconic meme set. So they're going to bring in their Booger Scizor here, thinking that they can handle the base Scizor set, when I'm actually just going to go for the Agility because I got to go fast with my Scaped Scizor. So going to go for the Agility. And now this Scizor set is so troll because it's not like your ordinary Swords Dance Technician Bullet Punch. No, we're Fury Cutter. Verlis is shaking right now. We are Fury Cutter, Swarm, Metronome Scizor, as they're going to go for a Swords Dance, thinking that they can beat me, but they underestimate the Fury Cutter Scizor. And right now, this is the ultimate way to end off BDSP. The two Scizors fighting it off. Will Booger Scizor overtake the cool Red Scizor? Find out. So we're gonna go for the Fury Cutter. This is the second Fury Cutter, and it's actually at 80 base power, I believe. And they're gonna go for the Roost, so they do reveal to have Recovery on their Scizor. And I don't think I have Recovery on mine. I might. I don't remember. This battle's really old, but either way, I have no reason to not click Fury Cutter, because if you stop clicking Fury Cutter, then you're throwing. So they're gonna go for a +2 Bullet Punch here, as it doesn't do any damage to my Scizor. As now I'm gonna go for another Fury Cutter, and we do around half, which is really good because that means another Fury Cutter will knock them out, and Bullet Punch isn't even coming close to knocking me out because we do have the Metronome like I mentioned. So they're gonna go for the Bullet Punch here, hit me again, and it doesn't do like much damage at all. And now Fury Cutter hits again, and we're able to knock out the opponent's Scizor with our Scizor. So we showed who the better Scizor was, it's true. But now they're going to bring in their Gliscor here, and even though we have an Agility up, because they are Choice Scarf, they're able to outspeed me and hit me with an Earthquake and do a lot of damage. And I'm going to go for the Swarm Metronome Fury Cutter, and it doesn't even kill, and then Earthquake knocks me out. So unfortunately, my Fury Cutter Scizor sweep kind of ended short, but to be honest, we 1v1'd the opposing Scizor, so I'm happy with Fury Cutter Scizor's performance. It's true. But now I can go for the Ice Fang, finishing off the Scizor, because I have Ice Fang just for like Garchomp's and Gliscors and stuff. So we're gonna finish off the Gliscor with the Ice Fang. So my Netric kind of came in clutch right there. Not really, I could have just went for Flamethrower. But we are Choice Scarf, so they're gonna bring back in their Latias. And I am Choice Scarf, so I think I just go for another Ice Fang, and the battle's gonna end in 3 minutes. If only they fixed the timer in Scarlet and Violet. They didn't, by the way. I know, singles. Game Freak does not want singles to be played. It's true. They want Smogon to choke. But yeah, Draco Meteor is going to knock out my man. But it's okay because the Latias lost special attack. And now my Manetric's going to go down. But now I can bring in my... what do I bring in now? I think I bring in Espeon. Do I bring in Espeon? I don't remember. Yeah, Latias has leftovers, and I think I have a hard time knocking it out, so I just bring in my Espeon. Yeah, I bring in Espeon, and I think I have to win a speed tie here, because Latias and Espeon have the same base speed, and I'm really hoping I can win this speed tie, as we actually do win the speed tie, assuming they are a timid max speed on their Latias. I'm going to go for a Draco Meteor with Copycat Espeon, and Draco Meteor will knock out the Latias. Specs Draco Meteor will annihilate Latias. So I know this is like a Fury Cutter Scizor meme title, but let's be real. Copycat Espeon once again carrying my shitty gimmicks, because Copycat Espeon, we love Espeon. In comes the Rotom Washer here, and do I stay in or... Yeah, I just stay in and go for a Copycat Draco, because might as well just keep clicking the Copycat, right? So I go for a Draco Meteor. I don't even think I clicked Specs Psychic or Shadow Ball this game. I think I just click Copycat every turn. I bring Rotom down to very low HP, and the Rotom is poisoned because of the Toxic Orb, so yeah, they're going to go for the Volt Switch and finish me off, but I do believe I could just bring in anything else to finish off the game, and we will be able to defeat our opponent with Copycat Espeon, Fury Cutter Scizor, and Man, the Manectric. And who did I bring in? Oh, I just bring in my last, which is Azura. Yeah, I only have one Pokemon left, actually. So this battle's actually a lot closer than I'm making it out to be. So right now, it's Azura versus Rotom 1v1. And yeah, the battle's going to end in 60 seconds. I'm like, no, you better not timer stall me, bitch. And they don't. They just go for Volt Switch. And they're not gonna do too much damage, as now the Dragon Tail will finish off the Rotom alongside the Poison. Actually, Dragon Tail itself just finishes them off. So yeah, we're gonna knock out the Rotom with the Dragon Tail and just barely beat Sylvie with a 1-0 victory. So that was a pretty good battle to end off BDSP. I thought it was a good battle to showcase. Hopefully you all enjoyed the battle. If you did, leave a like, comment on the question of the day, which is going to be, which strategy of mine from Generation 8 and BDSP did you enjoy seeing the most on my channel? Let me know in the comments, as I'm kind of curious to see, what sort of team I made was your personal favorite from Gen 8. My personal favorite team has got to be the round team I made, or maybe even the Galarian Stunfisk Terrain Pulse team. And I'll leave both those videos in the end screen if you want to watch those. But thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. I love you all very, very much. And I'll check you all in Scarlet and Violet. See you then.